from Reseda. My family comes originally from El Salvador, so I'm the child of immigrants. And my mother was very fair-skinned, and my father was very native-looking. And I'm a combination of them, with 10%, according to my DNA, from Africa. So, you know, when you were talking about the nuances, Diana, I'm Generation X, and my daughter here is Generation Z. And we looked at the leaked tape recordings very differently, because I thought about the nuances, just as you said, and as it has been discussed here, because of my history, my lived experience. And my daughter looked at it from a different perspective and said, completely unacceptable. And I said, but I'm very familiar with the language and the way that we use language in different ways, and in ways that you are not. Because, you know, I'm so close to the immigrant experience. And she said, Mom, doesn't matter. And what that caused me to think about is that she's right. She's right. I mean, I grew up in a household where I was called, you know, escopeta, shotgun, because I was so skinny and lanky. Completely unacceptable. My dad thought it was hilarious. I knew my daddy loved me. He adored me, as I did he. Completely unacceptable. Or spider. He used to call me Aranilla, spider, little spider, because I was so skinny. Unacceptable. And so I think that we know what our history is. And now we have to think about the future generations. And we have to be intentional about where we come from and where we want to go. And understand that what worked before isn't working anymore. And we have to make the commitment to say, I will make the change in my family and within me to stop saying those things. And the other thing I want to say is, All-American. I heard Mr. Herrera say All-American. I studied abroad in Spain. I was born and raised in this country. I know more about Dodgers and hot dogs and Disneyland than I know about the history of El Salvador. It would bug me when I'd be in Spain and I would hear Spaniards say, I want to have an exchange with a real American, because I considered myself an American. I am all-American. And I think we need to start thinking about European Americans as being the American. Because quite frankly, by now we all know we're all Americans, right? If we're born in the Western Hemisphere, and primarily in the United States of America, we're Americans. So I just think it's something we also have to be aware of. So this is my 2 cents on the nuances, but I do think you're right, Diana. There are nuances that are clearly misrepresented in that conversation and misunderstood, but I also think we need to kind of explore them and make a conscious decision not to continue to use the language in the painful way it's been used in the past. Thank you.
Which is the source and will continue to be a source of great debate, because the question with that is, how much are you altering culture? And are you altering culture to benefit what the Generation Z, and I have the same arguments with my son, trust me. And when you're driving in the car, it's like, please let me out. And also with the use of the term American, we've all experienced that, because of people's lack of knowledge, they don't understand that this is all the Americas, from Latin America to Canada. And we're